This is a KIII 3 News special presentation. Tracking Beryl, a 3 News special edition.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for allowing us into your home. I'm Rudy Trevino.
I'm Leslie Adamy. 3 News is continuing our bonus coverage of Hurricane Beryl and its impacts along the Texas coast. Now we have multiple updates to bring you this evening, as well as live looks from our crews out in the field.
Now, we do want to kick things off tonight with the very latest on where the storm is at this hour. Chief Meteorologist Alan Holt is here now with us to lead us off. Alan?
Yeah, Rudy, Leslie, first things first, Coastal Bend missing the worst of this storm. This is not going to be a storm for us. The trend that we've been talking about the last 5 days, maybe longer, is coming to fruition with that easterly bend and away from us. So this storm is going to start moving to the north pretty quickly here. It's going to make landfall overnight. The currents on Beryl right now, a 65-mile-per-hour tropical storm, gusting up to 75 miles per hour. The movement is more north than west right now. That's another sign that it's taken this turn to the north, 12 miles per hour, and it's about 130 miles to the south of Matagorda, Texas, and that's where it's going to be making landfall tonight. So this is not strengthening a ton. That's surprising. The structure looks good. There is some dry air that's getting pulled into this system, and despite the fact that the environment is perfect for development, that dry air, probably the Saharan dust having a little to do with it, is inhibiting some of this development. So again, the cone is going to bring it right to the east of Matagorda Bay, just to the east of Palacios. Matagorda, you're going to be in line, if you have people there, that's where this is going. Wadsworth and up to Bay City. This is going to be a Category 1, 85-mile-per-hour hurricane as it moves into the Middle Texas Gulf Coast and then shoots up to the north and east. So we can bring the graphics up full here. Just want to show the upper level wind pattern. This is the reason why this thing is moving so quickly to the north. That trough moving through the plains has a hold of it. There's the gap in the high, and you see how quickly by Tuesday, tomorrow afternoon, that's going to be pulling well to the north. So as far as impacts here now, we are looking at minimal impacts, 15 to 25 on the wind speed, some gusts to 30 to 40 miles per hour. We have had a 40-mile-per-hour gust in Corpus Christi today. A little bit higher as you get into places like the Rockport, Fulton area, Seadrift, Ostwell, Tivoli. That's that orange shade around San Antonio Bay. That location looking at 35 to 45 miles per hour on the wind speed there. That could be low-end tropical storm force. And then the winds ramp up as you get closer to Matagorda Bay, and especially points to the east of that. That's where the focal point will be between Palacios and Brazosport, and then it moves to the north and taking everything with it. So we're going to be in for the lower end impacts here in the coastal bend, and the winds aren't terrible, but they're breezy. 30-mile-per-hour sustained winds in Port Aransas right now. You see how those winds really drop off as you get farther inland, and the gusts, again, close to tropical storm force gusts, 38 miles per hour, but nowhere near what the winds are going to be looking like as we move toward landfall and that east of Matagorda Bay area. So as we wrap it up here, about to send it back over to Leslie and Rudy, this is what we've been talking about, and this trend, this easterly shift in the trend, it kept happening over the weekend, and all of these small shifts added up to a big change in the impacts that we are receiving tonight and into tomorrow. And if you're wondering, no, I did not board up the home. We were talking about that a lot last week, and I just had it on standby, never pulled the trigger on it, never did have hurricane force conditions in our forecast here. So, boards, they stayed put away for me at the Holt house.
A lot of us had the same idea that you had had. Okay, thank you, Alan, for that.
Yeah, and like he said, that small change that they just add up, it was something you've been talking about all week, and like you said, that played out here.
Sure did.
And leading up to this weekend, multiple area counties had also been closely watching Beryl's path, some even issuing mandatory evacuations as a precaution for residents for the Refugio County's evacuation that began at 7:30 a.m. today. And that was for all residents. Buses loaded up, left from the county fairgrounds over at the Refugio County Expo Center for those who were needing a ride.
And then over in Rockport, the evacuation order was strongly advised for residents and those visiting the area. Port Aransas mandatory evacuation order that had been issued for visitors is going to be lifted at 8 tomorrow morning. Though we wouldn't be taking on a direct hit from Beryl, those impacts could still be seen at area beaches. So let's take a live look now at our beach cam showing us gloomy skies and somewhat stable conditions in the local area.
Yeah, again, this is a live look tonight from the beach camera over at the Sand Castle condominiums. That is over in Port Aransas. You see some raindrops there on the camera lens and some cloudy skies over the beach. Hey, we have a list of several different beach cameras on our website, KIIITV.com. You can see them for here in our area as well as up the coast, even as far as Galveston.
That's
really
right.
Cool to get a live look at conditions along the coast.
And they're real live cameras and capture whatever it is that's going on out there. And you can see those waves just coming into shore for sure. Again, visitors to Port A had to be, they've been issued a mandatory evacuation. And tonight we've learned that it's going to be lifted at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
That's right. Meantime, the Port Aransas Ferry did shut down operations that happened at noon today to encourage folks to stay away once they leave. Now, Port Aransas is where we find our Madeline Salinas joining us live this evening with a look at things over there. Hi, Maddie.
Yeah, hi Rudy, Leslie. I don't know if you can hear it, but it is pretty windy out here in Port Aransas. And like you were talking about, you talk about those mandatory visitor evacuations. Port Aransas was one of those places. And as we were driving in today, it's kind of a ghost town. It's kind of a little bit of a ghost town here in Port Aransas. But actually, something else I wanted to talk to you guys about. Right now, we are posted up in front of something that a lot of people here in the area travel to, which is the ferry. So the U.S. Coast Guard actually closed the Corpus Christi ship channel to all marine traffic starting at 8 a.m. this morning, like you guys have been talking about. But they did grant special permission for TxDOT's Port Aransas ferry system to operate until today, Sunday at noon. So they have since suspended all operations. And if you look at their Facebook page and their Twitter pages, they actually posted pictures of crews immediately securing all vessels. So that way, any weather that they were expecting, those vessels would be secured and in place and where they needed to be. So moving forward, the ferry system will be closed until further notice, and they did post on their Facebook page until it reopens. The best place to travel if you usually use the ferry, it would be to take the Highway 361, so SH 361 to Corpus Christi. So this is just one of the effects. We talk about the area starting to get prepared, taking precautions, getting ready for what we thought was going to be hitting directly to our area. This is something that happened, is the ferry closing down. We will keep you guys updated when we learn if it will and when it will open again. But for now, reporting live from Port Aransas, Madeline Salinas, Channel 3. I'm going to toss it back to you, Barbie and Leslie. Rudy and Leslie.
Very good. Thank you there, Madeline. Of course, you could hear that wind.
Yes, yeah,
out
pretty
there,
gusty out there where she is.
And with Hurricane Beryl changing direction, the Corpus Christi Medical Center is reopening several Corpus Christi facilities.
The ER 24/7 Rockport is going to resume normal operations starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow. The ER 24/7 Northwest opening up tonight for patients at 6, so here very shortly.
And ER 24/7 Portland resuming normal operations starting at 9 tomorrow morning. Meantime, area schools still keeping a close eye on Beryl.
Several area districts had made the decision a couple of days ago to go ahead and cancel classes on Monday. Campuses like the CCISD, who canceled summer school classes for Monday, in which CCISD staff was being asked not to report to work Monday. All buildings will be closed. This also includes and impacts the summer meal program for Monday. Also, the School of Science and Technology had to close all 4 of their campuses for tomorrow as well. Now, there are several others. We have a live blog of all those updates on our website, but please make sure that you are getting updates from your child's school district.
And some area colleges also made the decision to go ahead and close tomorrow.
That goes for Del Mar College, Texas A&M Kingsville, Texas A&M Corpus Christi says that they are switching to remote operations for tomorrow. Again, as like we were just talking about with the school districts, if you are a student or staff with any of these campuses, make sure that you are receiving your school alerts.
And ahead of Beryl, Mayor Paula Guajardo had declared a state of disaster for Corpus Christi.
Her action aligned with Governor Greg Abbott's severe weather declaration for multiple Texas counties, which of course included Nueces, to ensure that resources are available for those in need.
And this is also a good time to remind you of the city's 311 call center and reverse alert system.
Yeah, this can be used on your computer or your phone. The app sends out alerts for things like weather updates. Helpful to know as we are still very early into this hurricane season. As you can see, it's already been an active one. You'll get updates on evacuation warnings, also any flooded roads in the area. You can text Be Ready CCNC to 888-7777 to sign up.
Now, on to North Beach now, still reeling from Tropical Storm Alberto just last month, now preparing for severe storm surge, all thanks to Beryl.
It is an area prone to storm surge, as we have seen. It does not take that much. That area expected to see as high as some 5 feet in some places. And that's where we find our Michael Gibson joining us live from North Beach tonight to give us an update on conditions over there. So Michael, what all are you seeing?
All in all, it's been a very nice day along the beach, except for a couple of bands of heavy rain that Beryl sent our way. It did some low-level flooding along the streets here, which isn't unusual for North Beach to have some flooding during a rain event. As you can see, the beach looks pretty good. We've got a little bit of water on here, but people out here enjoying the day, and much better than what anyone really anticipated when we were talking about Beryl just a few days ago or even yesterday. We've got City Manager Peter Zanoni joining us right now. Y'all were really worried about this storm. You've been tracking it, ready to take action.
Right, we were preparing for a Category 3. They said it could be as worse as a 2, and so in the city we prepare for one level above. So we were prepared for a Category 3. We had plans to have probably hundreds and hundreds of employees reporting to work tonight, sleeping on cots at the facility so they'd be ready tomorrow morning. Initially, tomorrow morning was the brunt of the storm. That was the initial forecast. All that has changed now that Beryl has moved way east. And so what we're seeing for hazards include some minor wind, gusts of 40 miles an hour, 50 miles on the beach, some coastal flooding, surges of 1 to 3 feet here at North Beach, and on the island up to maybe 4 to 5 feet. And then some rain, 1 to 3 inches or so, 1 inch in the watershed. So we won't be getting any replenish in our water resources from this, but nonetheless, we're still ready. We do have our Emergency Operations Center open partially. We will have teammates there overnight, through the night tonight. That includes our first responders, our public works crews, our IT department, and a few others that are essential in responding. So a much scaled back version, but nonetheless still open to protect the community. We never let our guard down until this storm's completely gone. We have been tracking this storm now for 9 days. We saw it 2 Fridays ago. We've been tracking it. It's hitting us now a little bit. We had a little storm that came through, a little rainstorm on our way here to North Beach. But we think that this type of rain is what we'll see in the wind and the surges.
And so far, we're faring much better than we did with Alberto that came through. So you have to be really happy that a lot of time and expense is being avoided here.
Right, that's for sure. We're going to see tomorrow morning. We're hoping that we don't see those surges that brought a lot of brush and debris, eroded a lot of our dunes, and really put our beaches out of operation for many days. So hopefully we don't see that through this event tonight. Nonetheless, if we do, then we'll be ready to respond. With Tropical Storm Alberto, we were back in business within a few days, thanks to the city crews addressing things right away.
That's Peter Zanoni, the city manager, who's been at it for several weeks now. Storms in the budget. Right. So 2 big items, but at least Beryl looks like it's pretty much been a dud for us, and that's a good thing. Back to the studios.
Michael, thank you so much for that live report. Things do look pretty good out there on North Beach. As he saw, you could see folks walking behind him.
Exactly.
And thank you to City Manager Peter Zanoni for joining us for that live interview. Hey, and another positive update from the city of Corpus Christi. Solid Waste Services, Corpus Christi's trash collection will return to its normal schedule starting tomorrow.
Yeah, collection was previously halted due to Beryl's track for Corpus Christi. If you'd like more details, you can head to our website, KIIITV.com. And with Beryl on its way, extensive power outages are no doubt expected across Texas.
More than 4,500 crews with AEP Texas had been activated to help the coastal bend and surrounding neighboring cities and counties up the coast from us. Also, crews even from AEP Ohio sent down trucks to provide more than 120 line workers to support the South Texas region. They left yesterday for the 2-day trip as they moved into place, and we certainly appreciate them, those crews making the trip to Texas.
Coming in to help Texans. Okay, and another reminder as we head to break to download our 3 News Plus app. It is free and a great resource to always help you stay ahead of the storm wherever you are.
Especially as this is already proving to be an active hurricane season. Get any and all updates in real time. Hey, a quick break here, and we're back with more storm coverage right after this. Stick with us.